plaintiff, Casey Redmond, dated the defendant, and he says she was very open about her sexuality. Casey claims the defendant asked him to participate in a threesome with her and her ex-boyfriend, and he's suing her today for breach of contract and stolen property. Defendant Ariel Hartwell says her relationship with Casey ended because he became violent, and she was forced to file a stalking order against him. Ariel's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Well, I met Ariel 2 years ago from a coworker's birthday party. And after that, 2 weeks, we hit it off really quick. And I moved into her ex's apartment that she was still living in. And she was—
Where were you living before then?
I was living on the street, Your Honor.
Okay.
We hit it off really quick. And I moved into her ex's apartment that she was still living in. And she was—
Where were you living before then?
I was living on the street, Your Honor.
Okay.
Defendant Ariel Hartwell dated the plaintiff, but she claims she was forced to file a stalking order against him because he was violent.
He picked you up off the street.
I was living in my car.
All right.
And she was very open with her sexuality. She told me she'd been in threesomes with her ex-boyfriend and had asked if I wanted to have a threesome with her and her ex-boyfriend. And I was not inclined
Your
to
Honor,
do so.
That's not true. It's also not true that we
That's
were
not
living
true, Your Honor.
together. Actually, he was staying over with me, but he was not paying rent and he was a guest, and it was my apartment. So I feel that he is saying these things to try and influence how I look, and that it's defamatory.
Defamation is somebody saying something intentionally to hurt your reputation, lying to hurt your reputation, and it does hurt your reputation. So it has to hurt your, even if I believe he's lying, how does it hurt your reputation for him to spend the night with you versus putting him out earlier in the night? Same result. You got a man over there that you start dating and you had him over at nights. His thing was, well, I spend the night. You, well, he doesn't spend the night. He's over there at night. We're not dealing with a defamation claim on that, ma'am. And you don't have to address that threesome nonsense, and I'm going to take you away from that unless it's somehow relevant to this.
It will be on.
Okay, go ahead.
So Ariel had admitted she had a drinking problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have a drinking problem. And oftentimes she'd shut down or be very erratic or oftentimes violent. After dating her for 2 weeks,
Your
my
Honor,
cousin—
No, let him finish. I'll let you give your side. Mm-hmm.
My cousin and I, she invited us out to the bar, and Ariel came, and after a few drinks into the night, out in the front, in the middle of nowhere, she just slaps him right across the face. My cousin didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. And she asked me why it happened. I didn't know. And my cousin went and talked to her because she sulked away into the corner. And then she felt threatened by my sexuality. She would tease me about my sexuality, call me gay. When I was on the phone with my best friend John, who was getting married on the East Coast, and he delayed his wedding, I'd put him on speaker while I was sitting in front of Ariel, and, you know, knowing him since the elementary school, I would say, I love you, man, you know, because we'd been through a lot, been through some tough times. And
You had to explain to me.
But Ariel didn't
Just say you're not gay. Why is that even an issue?
Well,
all right. How did it hurt some relationships that you have?
In this one, yes.
It hurt it with her?
She said something very awful underneath her breath when I said that to him.
And how did it hurt you?
It hurt me personally because I didn't have any interest in that.
Interest in what?
In men.
And so it hurts you that someone accuses you of having interest in men. It hurts you personally.
Right.
Not that you feel it hurts your reputation or something, but it hurts you personally. Cut you deep inside. You need to leave this subject alone because you're digging a hole for yourself.
Well,
all right, ma'am, let me hear from you about the friendship, relationship, and all these other things he's saying that you might want to respond to.
Thank you, Your Honor. This relationship progressed very quickly, and we decided to move in together. into a place after knowing each other a very short time. And unfortunately, the relationship ended because he became violent. That's why I have a stalking order against him.
And you don't have to address that threesome nonsense, and I'm gonna take you away from that unless it's somehow relevant to this.
It will be on.
Okay.
Defendant Ariel Hartwell dated the plaintiff, but she claimed she was forced to file a stalking order against him because he was violent.
You just had me go through all that back and forth about whether he lived with you or not. You say he didn't live with you, and the first thing out your mouth just now, the first thing is that we moved in together. You finished?
Your Honor.
Your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted. Straight up perjury. Have a good day.
I'm afraid of Casey Redmond. That's why I have a stalking order against him, and I hope I never see him again.
I'm surprised she says she still has a restraining order or stalking order against me because it was dismissed in court last week. I loved her dearly, but it ended really abruptly and harshly, and I'd like to see the best for her.